The biggest question I have in this chapter is not who or where that Cusack is going to, or what Peronia told him before he left, or not even the bombshell we got the last page where fucking Merlin is apparently the offspring of the Demon King and the Supreme Goddess. That's not even the biggest question. The biggest part and the biggest question I have is between the conversation of Meliodas and Elizabeth. See, Meliodas, he did say that he feels nothing. As soon as Elizabeth hugged him, he was like, yeah, I recall a time when you hugging me made my heart skip beats. My hearts skip beats. But now I feel nothing. And it's interesting that he'd say that because just moments ago, he Elizabeth said something that got a reaction out of him. She said something along the lines of, if you really think that my emotions for you, my love for you is imprinted from my mother, the Supreme Goddess, then why don't you, every time I'm born, why don't you just leave me and go find someone else to love? That caught a reaction out of him. And even he said it himself even further, even earlier before that, he said, if your feelings are not made from the Supreme Goddess, if they are not malfunction into you, implemented into you by the Supreme Goddess, then would it not be impossible for you to keep on loving me every time you were born? And the way I'm thinking about this, I'm like, is Meliodas being a hypocrite? Like low key, because he said that, but also he also says, as soon as Elizabeth says, "Oh, well, why don't you find someone else to love or something?" That's when the reaction starts, and then he's like, "That's impossible because every time you come back, I can't help but love you." So it's hypocritical, you know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, he's like, "I don't love you," so he has no feelings left. So in my mind, I'm thinking Meliodas is either doing two things. He's either trying to find a sliver of emotion left through that whole thing, that whole reaction where she was like, "Yeah, you should have found someone else to love." Yeah, that could have been an act, and he just did that to see if he could like feel other anything, but he couldn't. He even dropped his power, his assault mode, and everything, completely naked, balls dangling, dick out, everything. You know what I'm saying? I thought they was fucking. I thought they was about to get start fucking, but no. Um, he says that he feels nothing. So is he complete? Is that can you take that at face value that Meliodas really does not feel anything, or or second, does Meliodas really like have emotion, but he doesn't want to show because he knows this has to be done. He doesn't like the fact that he's doing all this, but he knows it has to be done. And that moment where he reacted to what she said was a moment of like, yo, this is too much. I can't take this. I need to show her like affection. Like this is too heavy, honestly. But then he like remembered. He was like, no, I need to do this. Like where his faith in his own plan was wavering, you know. So you could take that as two ways. Either he has emotion, but he's putting on a front so he can get this Demon King power, or excuse me, or he doesn't have emotion, but he's trying to search for emotion. Well, it's most likely it's probably the latter, because even in this chapter, even he was like, yo, that's all I got. All I have, the connection towards you, is the promise that I made to you, that I would uplift this curse, you know? And it's kind of sad, honestly. I'm like, these two have been through so much together. So much, and it's so much tragedy. Because when they are finally together, they still can't have each other. They are still they're like as far as opposites as possible, honestly. Like, it's like one is like, oh, your love is fake, and then the other one's like, oh, I have no love for you anymore. It's crazy because Elizabeth still loves Meliodas, but Meliodas has no emotions. Like this, that's why Bond's in purgatory. Meliodas still does not have emotion, you know. And throughout this whole exchange, it's like the panel that I see the most impactful. One of them is when Meliodas finally reacts to what she says, and the other one is when they both have their heads down, because I could see that as like Meliodas, like them both hiding something. Well, not hiding something, but like I just think it's like it just looks like a nice shot. You know what I'm saying? Because Meliodas had his head down for pretty much the whole conversation, and then Elizabeth finally puts her head down, and then when she raises her head, it's out of like emotion. She's showing emotion, but when he raises his head, he's like shocked, and it's like I just like the way that feels. You know what I'm saying? That, and then the picture of Meliodas when he lifts his head up, and it's like blurred, it's like darkened and shaded and stuff. It's like a good set. I like that. I like all that. You know, yeah. I don't think I really need to get into details of what they said. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the whole exchange, just in and of itself, just in and of itself, the way I said it, I feel like that is good enough. But yeah, Meliodas, if he does go through with the Demon King thing, he won't return because his power, he'll have so much power that it's probably like it'll break the world or something, you know, something along those lines. It'd be too much for the world to handle, to contain. He'd be a monster. He'd be a beast. Like, you see how strong the 10 Commandments are. You see how strong he is now, and he gets like what is it? How many more power ups he needs? Like seven more power ups. Man, it'd be disgusting. So yeah, there's that possibility, and Elizabeth is fearing that, but for the reason, because whole thing, Meliodas doesn't even want to become Demon King, so he's doing something he doesn't even want to do. And also, Meliodas is if he does that, he won't be able to return, so she won't be able to see him. And if he breaks the curse in and of itself, Elizabeth will probably not remember Meliodas. Once again, going back to the memories that she won't remember anybody. You know, it's crazy. And the slap I did like, because it wasn't like a regular like, oh, I'ma slap you because you're acting stupid. Like, no, it wasn't like a regular shonen slap. It was like, you're fucking up. And she said idiot at the end too. So I'm like, bro, she hit you with, and it actually kind of hurt Meliodas because it's an arc and it's from Elizabeth. We have no idea what Elizabeth is. We don't know if she's like a corporal or if she's like just like a really high ranking angel, like almost on par with the four archangels. All we know is she is the daughter of the supreme goddess. I'm taking that literally for now until something else is said. But from the way that Rudisiel acted, and from how everyone's been saying like daughter of the supreme goddess, how Meliodas said it, I'm taking at face value that she is the daughter of the supreme goddess. So yes, so yeah, I'm not surprised that bitch that slap hit her. I mean, that slap hurt Meliodas, you know? Yeah, so, and now she's about to go run back or fly back or go back to the seven deadly sins so that they can find a new way to break this curse. But you gotta remember, they only have like less than 3 days, probably like 1 or 2 more days left, honestly. And Bond is already in purgatory, so Bond honestly should be back. I can see Bond being back. Like, okay, it took her father a minute in this world. It's been way over a minute. So Bond should probably be back within like maybe like an hour or 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how long. See, I don't think time would really affect Bond, honestly. Like, not that much, because Bond is immortal. But once again, you have to go back to that thing where like, oh, it's his body, but not his soul. But yeah, I think Bond should be back within like, maybe like, I say at most like a day. But yeah, Bond should come back, power up. Yeah, that should be by the time Elizabeth gets there, if she does get there, because you know you still got Chandler there and all these other demons, and Chandler doesn't like her. So this would be the perfect opportunity for him to like fuck her up. You know what I'm saying? This is like, Chandler's been waiting for this. Like, it's been built up, and now Chandler is probably gonna get this opportunity to fight Elizabeth, and that should be raw. Now, getting to the thing at the beginning of the chapter, what Peronia probably told Cusack was probably about the vampire chick from the side story, the vampires of the Leonid Cap, something like that, something along those lines. It was probably something about her because we know that she does have a connection with Zeldris. What connection? They were probably like lovers or something. We don't really know. But yeah, she probably told him about that because I'm pretty sure she is in of herself a vampire, you know, and or he could have said something about Ordolini because Ordolini was there. Yeah, the little eyeball thing. I remember that Ordolini was the dude that Bond fought. The gluttonous kind of dude. He like sucks up power and stuff. That guy. Or sucks up blood, I think. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Or something to do with go to Ordolini because Ordolini does know, so you know. Either way, it's probably had something to do with that girl from that side story. And now the big one, well, not my big one, but the bombshell. Zeldris is at the boar's hat. Esterosa, we don't know where Esterosa is at. Esterosa is just somewhere. But yeah, Merlin's at the Zeldris is at the boar hat. Merlin takes it upon herself, not King, not Diane, not Gother, not Escanor. Not Diane. But Merlin takes it upon herself. She goes outside. She's like, "What's up, Zeldris?" He's like, "I don't know who you are. Who the fuck are you?" She transforms back into a kid, so she can do this by will. She transforms back into a kid. She has Marcella with her, and she's like, "Now do you remember me?" And apparently, back in the day, like 3,000 plus years ago, she was like OD powerful or something, but that's to be expected when you're the freaking the offspring or the progeny of fucking the supreme goddess and the demon king. That's to be expected. And he said her name in like that demon speak again, so it's like everyone knows her. So I'm guessing that it's starting to kind of make sense. I'm guessing that if this is like face value, that means her dad that she talks about, like Belilan or whatever, that could possibly be the Demon King's name instead of her other father that went to purgatory. Possibly Belilan could be the Demon King's name if that is actually true. You know what I'm saying? So if that's her father and the Supreme Goddess is her mother, that would explain why Elizabeth calls her sis, not only because she would technically be a sister to Meliodas, but she would be a sister to Elizabeth, you know? So, and that will also explain why the Supreme Goddess and the Demon King doesn't want Meliodas and Elizabeth to get together, because they probably got together and it probably went to all high hell. You know what I'm saying? It probably did not end well, resulting in Merlin. And that's why Merlin has that freaking OD ass fucking ability, Infinity. Like, damn. Like, Zeldris knows, so I'm pretty sure that's how it went. You know what I'm saying? That's if we're taking that at face value, yes, she would be related to Zeldris, Esterosa, Meliodas, and Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? And the guy that went to the purgatory was probably like a surrogate father, like an adopted father. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to end this review. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you got something out of it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click the little bell if you want to know when I post. And I will see you guys later. Have a good day. Peace.